Hey, beloved Starseeds, this is Richard McKeeseldeck. So honored to have each one of you here today as I express my deep gratitude to all of our family and all kingdoms that are here at this time. Kuruki yoroko yoko masai yoroko yokuruki anakaze yoroko yosara yoroko yokuruki. As I invite you on this energetic journey with me today. If you enjoy these messages, these channelings, and light language activations, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the like below, leave a comment, and show your support for this channel and for myself and my beloved and all of our family that are here at this time, waking up to what is truly organic ascension and all of the divine unfoldments that are occurring. Kurukiara kama siroko yoho yarakana sio tuzia dazirakiti anama asero yoho yorokoma. And just briefly before we get going, wanted to speak a little bit about our Awakening Heart Soul Blueprint program. So if you're looking to shift from a 3D state of consciousness and step into your way shower path, embodiment, and fully embody the Emerald Crystal Heart in your highest organic alignment, and to break through from any layers of negative ego self, and to really understand a deeper level of emotional awareness and emotional intuition, as well as emotional intelligence, to walk your highest path at this time. A lot of people are actually really susceptible to all of the mind control that's occurred within this system. Now, now, if you are operating from a negative ego self, you are extremely open to manipulation, to interference, and to many of the other things that are occurring. When we look at some of the things that are occurring on the earth at this time, you can see a lot of the divide and conquer strategies, which is a form of mind control, which works off of fear programming, which works off of manipulation to the negative ego self. So when we're operating within a third dimensional layer of consciousness, or if we're operating within the personality matrix, which is 1D, 2D, 3D, and there's a lot of trauma, there's a lot of unhealed wounding, a lot of emotional, energetic imprinting, conditioning, and overlays, you're open and susceptible to not being able to truly think for yourself, and your ego will actually take you down a path. It will take you into the fear programming, and you will feel like you're making your own decisions, but you're actually not. You're being completely controlled, manipulated, coerced into a lot of the decisions that that are not in your highest good at this time. So when we speak about divide and conquer, this would be when we look at the gender divides that have occurred and the categorization of genders and the amount of segmentation throughout all genders. When we look at races and the race divide, and all of the anger, the fear, and the manipulation and dividing of unity consciousness through race and genders. We also look at understanding, these things. Gun control is a great example of divide and conquer as well, where on one side you want guns for protection, and on the other side you want to get rid of guns for protection. They both want the same thing, but it's not actually addressing the societal issue, which is about safety. Why does everyone feel unsafe? So we have people who then argue over one side or the other side. This is divide and conquer, and we never actually deal with the societal or with the issue at hand. So when we continue to divide people, this is how we prevent unity consciousness from occurring on this planet at time. Now, how do we fall into these arguments, into these one-sided battles, vaccines and no vaccines? This is another example of this, where we have people want to get vaccinated for their safety, for their protection, and for, the highest good of all humanity. And then on the other side, you have people who don't want to be vaccinated for their own safety, for the safety of our genetics and everything else that occurs, and for having that sovereign choice and freedom of what we do with our bodies, and for the highest good of all family. So what is the difference here? One is done out of fear, right? And one is actually not done out of fear. So if you're making a decision out of fear, this is a level of egoic interpretation. And this egoic interpretation can be swayed from one side to the other side by the media, by authority, and a level of gaslighting that occurs that make you actually feel like you're making your own decision, but you're not. Kuruko yokirikiara kazayoroko yokomasayana kirakiti asayoroko yokiriki. And this is what we're seeing right now is a lot of divide and conquer strategies occurring over the earth and the planet to keep people from making their own sovereign choices. Now, if you want to be free from manipulation, from interference, and from mind control, you have to do your own inner work and you have to be able to break free from a negative ego state of mind. So you have neutral observer perspective and you're not pushed or swayed one way or the other way within the most intense times. Now, this is something that's been used throughout time, the divide and conquer strategy, to keep our family, to keep people separated, and to keep everybody fighting with each other, as opposed to what is actually the highest plan for all of humanity. And the number one thing that occurs through this level of manipulation and mind control is people are acting out upon things that they think are their own ideas and they think are their own thoughts, but they're not actually. It's information that's been presented to them through media or presented to them through authority that they then claim as their own idea and then act out upon that through fear. Now, it takes a certain level of consciousness to be able to perceive this, to be able to understand this, and to be able to interpret this. Because if you're not, you're going to decide on an egoic reaction, which is also reinforced with an emotional reaction, which then puts the ego into overdrive and makes you want to make some of these decisions as if they're your own. This is mind control 101. And how most of the population throughout the world have being manipulated because they're not free from an egoic mindset or an emotional level of awareness. So these emotional traumas and imprinting are actually used against the population as a weakness. So they're slowly broken down over time to where it's very easily to manipulate the masses. So just taking a moment to ground and breathe in. So we're really, just at this time, really assisting our family and breaking through from all of this and all these things, and to be able to see the truth, because there is a war on truth right now. Truth is the most valuable commodity. Now, there's a lot of things that are presented as truth, but they're not really truth. The energy behind them would tell you actually the opposite of what they are. It's misinformation, disinformation, it's manipulation and interference. So for many of us to be able to perceive truth, this is a higher conscious thing where the truth is actually embodied into a gnosis. It's something we feel, and we feel the energy behind everything. We're able to energetically read these things. It's not coming from a place of the mind. This is coming from a deep level of gnosis. Gnosis is like a level of heart integration, that when the information is received, we're able to take it or leave it, and we're able to take a little of this and this and this and make our own decision. And then through experiences that we've had, we gain gnosis over those decisions from that we've made before of making our own decisions. And this is how we put things into a gnosis, not because something's been expressed to us and we just claim that as truth. Gnosis comes through the actual integration of the information through our own energetic expressions. So I know these are trying times for each and every one of you, and everybody's being challenged to truly stand in their own power, to take back what is rightfully yours, your freedoms, your liberties, your energetic and intuitive awareness and your own energetic expression, which is yours and always been yours. Your voice is being challenged now more than ever. And not the voice that wants you to prove things right or prove things wrong, but the voice that is like your God voice, your voice of truth, your voice of reason, your voice of understanding, and what truly is the highest good for everyone and all of humanity and for yourself, your voice of love and your voice of unity, one that sees above all the division and all the things that are occurring at this time. Now we see so much that's occurring, and we are on an accelerated window from now until June 24th of 2022. This is like the disclosure timeline that we're all moving through, and this is the importance of going through this process and having as many of our family awaken and come into their own sovereignty and their heart gnosis, and to be able to make their own decisions and to be able to truly see through a lot of the illusions and the webs of lies that are being fed to everybody at this time. We're all being called right now to step up and to stand up and to hold our pillar of light, as there's so much of our family that is looking for truth and looking for what is actually happening and occurring, seeing the things that are occurring that are wrong, and knowing we are here as beacons and pillars of light, understanding like the earth is actually going through a massive ascension process right now. And the more people that can be held distracted, and the more people we can held in a divide and conquer strategy, the more slower or challenging at times it can be to move through this stuff. The more that are looking at everything on a surface level and not actually seeing what's actually really occurring here. As we've been given the clear message, we are here to get as many people ready now. So all of our Christos family, all of our Christ families, all of our galactic families, starseed families, indigos, crystal families, rainbow families. This is the time. This is the time to come into your heart embodiment and knowledge of your true self, of who you are, and to step into your highest calling for all of humanity. We're being asked to do something that has never been done here before. Like the original families of creation within this universal system have fully returned and are here and creating the changes that are unfolding at a highest level. So if you're looking for like ascension information, you can connect and join our Starseeds School. We do one-to-one mentorships, as well as many of our brothers and sisters also have programs that can assist you if you're looking for clearings, alien implant removal, device removal. Some of these like frequency fences that are held within everyone's auric field are here to keep you in a lower level of suppression, so you're not actually able to receive these like higher states of consciousness awareness, because every time you start to move up, you then fall back. There's so many things that are seen and unseen that have been occurring within this universal system for a very long time that we are here to fully put a stop to. As you can take a look behind me and see this piece here, this is a 12-tree grid of life. This is your ascension path. This is how you move through the internal Stargate system. This is how you move through the planetary Stargates, the inner Stargates, as well as the universal Stargate system. Everybody has one of these. Everybody. All of angelic humanity, all of the angelic DNA that we're working to restore fully for all of our family is through this. Now, this is why we say base 12, because a lot of people are actually working through a fallen tree, which only has 10, which recycles the energy within this system and it doesn't go back to source. So this is something that everybody has, and they want you to continue fighting over everything and to be divided, as opposed to understand each one of you have one of the biggest master tools within you to create a level of alchemy within this universal system that is game over. Completely restores everything and gives the freedom that you're looking for, that you're searching for. It's right here, and this is within you. Anafioroko yokurkiara kia kaza yoroko yokomasa yoroko yokurkiti. Ana yoro yoho yara kiara kia kaza yoroko yokoma siraki ana yara ia tizi roko yo. Afa yoroko yokoma siraki tirakia kaza yara kiasi. So another thing too is like we're moving through a solar ascension cycle. This solar ascension cycle works through the alchemical cycles of the sun. Like our solar consciousness is the true returning of the Christ consciousness within this universal system. So a lot of things are initiated through the sun, through the solar cycles. If any of this is resonating with you, I encourage you to reach out, to send me a message, to connect with us, myself or my beloved partner or one of our, members of our team. As of right now, we are initiating some of the biggest projects at this time to reclaim this for angelic humanity. And each one of you that is waking up to this and breaking away from some of the false ascension matrices and starting to see truth come out, or you're opening to a level of truth that you just weren't able to perceive before. This is going to continue to unfold, and the things that have been initiated, from the 5-5 portal, through our most recent trip that we just did for some of the reclamation projects and some of the emancipation projects, and some of massive pieces are coming online to assist all our family in reclaiming all of this. So just from my heart to your heart and to each one of our family that are out there right now that are speaking the truth, that are holding a level of hard gnosis and a level of discernment and holding that pillar of light, for all our family right now that aren't able to perceive or see this. So we are here for each one of you, and if you are ready to step into this path and to fully embody this, there's lots of different options, whether it's Starseeds School, the Heart Soul Blueprint program, to one-to-one sessions, mentorships, or this YouTube channel. There's tons of resources on here as well. And if you Muhi sira yana kaza yoroko yoko soroko yokurkiara. Anaf yoroko yoko masa yoroko yokurkiati. As we're doing this for the restoration of our family through all kingdoms, for everybody, for the highest of all humanity. If you're ready to step forward at this time, please reach out and connect, and just know we express our deepest layers and levels of love and gratitude to each one of you. To all our Starseed family, our galactic family, our brothers and sisters, to all the mothers and fathers, the sons and daughters, to the true sovereign kings and queens, our Magi Grail kings and queens, our solar kings and queens, to our dragon families, our Lyran families, and our Andromedan families, our Syrian families, our Palladian families, Kurukiroko, our Arcturian families, Ayarakiroko Yokomaya, to our divine creational families. Usarakiarakia Kaza Yoroko Yokamatirakiti. If you're hearing the call right now, know it's time. Ayarakiroko Yoho Yitirakia Kaza Yoroko Yokomasayana. Ayafiroko Yokomahayarakiti Rokoyo. From my heart to yours, I love you. This is Richard McKeezeldak from Starseeds Changing The World.com and the Starseeds School. With love.